do a little bit of yoga together while we talk about a healthy way to reflect and set intentions for the new year. So you're welcome to do this with me, or just sit in a comfortable posture and breathe deeply. Let's actually go ahead, take a deep inhale together. Exhale, let that out. Take an inhale if you are with me. Clasp your hands behind your back and just pull back, opening up our heart, kicking off this yoga with being more vulnerable, opening that heart center. Exhale, you can release if you'd like. And let's talk about reflection. So the last week of the year, it's a big time where we look back on 2023 and really start to ask ourselves if we achieved what we wanted to achieve. Did we reach goals that we wanted to reach? Are we the person that we want to be? We don't always really know, right? So that can lead to having a bit of anxiety, and especially if you combine that with knowing that you might see friends or family or groups of people that you're not always around, that you'll have to answer some tough questions that you might not know the answer to yourself. So what I really like to do for reflecting is to start to write things down. Write down one thing that I'm really proud of this year. Write down a second thing that I've made a lot of progress with. And write a third thing that totally did not work out at all. A lot of times seeing it on paper reminds us that there's a balance between what has worked and what hasn't. There might be a divide between what we thought we wanted and what we really want. And we might realize that the path that we had intended to be on, January 2023, looks nothing like the path that we're intending this year for January 2024. Underneath that list of 3 items, I write down everything I'm thankful for. Sleeping in a warm bed at night, having a roof over my head, having food, whatever that list looks like to you, going into as much detail as you can. Have your list. The next thing I like to do is on the other side of that paper, or maybe over on the right side of that list, start to think about my intentions. The first thing I do when thinking about what to plan for the future is take another deep breath in, exhale, and try to start to let go of anything that no longer serves me. For me personally, a lot of times that looks like ego. For you, it might look like expectations, or maybe deep-rooted thoughts that have dictated a lot of decisions that you've made in the past. And the second thing I remind myself is that in this moment, it is okay to be selfish. This is all about you. For some, immediately when we say that, it becomes harder to think of a list if we're not focusing on family, our job, our friends. Identifying what you really want, writing down what you really want, where you really want to go, can be scary. Because now you have to tell the truth to yourself. So I start easy. Write down one intention of something that you'd love to do that you already have started planning. Maybe that looks like travel, a new hobby. Maybe that looks like trying a new recipe. We're going to bed a little earlier. The next thing I write down is something that I have the tools to accomplish. And I know that if I really focus on it, I will be able to achieve it. You can also add more items to this part of the list. And the third thing I write down is the one that I really intend to do, that I'm scared to do. The one that I have no idea how I'm going to figure it out. But I believe that I'll be able to. And I will say, when I start this list, I don't always believe that I'll be able to. But I once learned it's not your decision to decide how to get where you want. It's only your decision to decide exactly what you want. And the path will find you. I'm a little too impatient for that, but I'm trying. After you write down that list, take a deep breath in. Exhale, let it all out. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, let it all out. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, let it all out. And if you've been in a yoga class with me or a meditation class, you know I always say you are exactly where you're meant to be. But this year I take it back. Now I'm saying you are going exactly where you're meant to go. And when you start to tell yourself that through your mind, your body, your spirit, or the energy around you, the universe will do everything it needs to do to make sure that becomes true. So from my heart to yours, where the light in me sees the light in you, let's start making every second count.